Here I am with Paul Manley, who's the Green Party of Canada candidate for the Nanaimo area for the federal election. And I have a lot of friends and family who live in Nanaimo, and I think a lot of them are going to vote NDP. Why should they vote for you over your NDP challenger?
Well, I'm a good, strong candidate. I'm very well-rounded. I'm knowledgeable on a wide range of issues, from healthcare, and I've worked on healthcare issues on Vancouver Island. I've worked on water issues on Vancouver Island. I've worked on trade issues. I know a lot about federal government issues and policies, and I've been active in my community. I'm born and raised on Vancouver Island. So,
where did you grow up?
I was born up in Port Alice, but I grew up in Ladysmith, and my grandfather had a farm in Nanaimo, so that's where my dad grew up, and it's always been central to my life.
Sorry, what was your grandpa's name?
Doug Manley.
And where was his farm?
Out off Jinglepot Road, at the end of Andre Road.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Manley Road.
Yeah, that's so cool. Oh, you got the name named after them.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of people I talk to on the island, they are really committed to getting rail service restored and expanded. And I'm just sort of thinking, like, if you're elected as MP, what are you going to do to push that agenda ahead?
Well, having a railway on Vancouver Island and having rail service on Vancouver Island was part of our constitutional arrangement for British Columbia to enter Canadian Confederacy. And so that deal, needs to be upheld. And we gave away a huge chunk of land, from Campbell River south to Jordan River, and inland all the way to Port Alberni and to the shores for the ENN land grant, plus $1.5 million or $1 million at the time, a lot of money to have that railway built as part of our deal for Confederation. And we should be pushing to have that followed through on. PEI has a subsidized ferry system, because it's part of their deal for Confederation that they would have a permanent link, established that the government would subsidize. And so even though they've built the bridge, the Confederation Bridge, the ferry system is still very affordable and it still operates. And we should be demanding that kind of service is still kept on Vancouver Island. We should have Highway number 1, which is the ferry from Horseshoe Bay to Departure Bay. That should be well subsidized by the federal government as part of our national highway system, and the railway should be up and running.
So finally, how do people get out and register to vote for you?
Well, whether they're voting for me or not, I want to make sure that they're registered. So they should go to electionscanada.ca, and they can check. It takes 30 seconds to plug in your name and address and see whether you're on the registration or not. And if you're not, it takes another minute and a half online to do that. Also, you can phone into Elections Canada and go through the same process, or go to the returning officer in your area and make sure that you're registered. It's really important.
Where's the returning officer in Nanaimo?
I think it's at Dufferin School. They just opened it.
I went to elementary school there.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was nice to meet you, and I think you should, I'd like it if you told my brother to go out and register to vote, like tell him personally, because he hasn't, and I think he would take your advice.
Gino, go and register to vote.